All right, we're going to do the person on your mind, single reading, what's blocking it, who's coming in, as far as signs, and then we're going to do whatever comes out. All right? So, hope everybody is doing very well. Happy Sunday to everybody. All right. Under the crab, under the crab, under the crab, under the crab, under the water, hotter, no down below, you know it's not hotter. Under the water, hotter, under the crab, under the crab. Yay. All right. All right, Cancer. Let's go and get into how your person feels. Overall energy, man. They're very disappointed about the fact that this didn't work out. I'm seeing that very much. They're very confused because I feel like in a way they feel like they kind of deceived themselves in the situation. They felt like they could choose other things outside of you and um, still be with you. And that's the thing. They lost sight of the future with you and ended up losing you, and they didn't take responsibility. I see them not taking responsibility here about it, and I feel like they're judging themselves very heavily about these things. They know that this caused the downfall of your relationship, misunderstandings, and the love affair. If they had any other options, because the Seven of Cups is in reverse, they could have possibly had options too as well. But just putting things in front of you and just not being responsible for their self-indulgence is the reason why this relationship was, jeopardized. And they're definitely looking at this as like they lost their soulmate. They lost a chance at being with you. And yeah. Clarify that Two of Cups in reverse. Clarify this Two of Cups in reverse. Clarify this Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah, dishonesty. They didn't put the work in. They had a lack in the situation, a lack of looking into the future with you. And nobody really knows when they're gonna get caught, or nobody really knows when things come to an end. And I feel like they just did not know that this could end based on the behavior they were showing you. And there was a lot of negative behavior. And now they're sitting here living in regret. How would they be in this relationship? They were very a good time. I would say they were a good time. I feel like it was very highly sexual, highly energetic, enthusiastic, and then it could have been good with the family. If you had a family or something, they could have been good with the kids. They could have had their own kids. However, it just feels like they were just really independent. It was about them, all about them winning, all about them doing well, all about them. It could have been a Virgo or Sagittarius you're dealing with here. And I think also too as well. I think other people also were in your talking to them about this relationship, like saying that they kind of chose wrong when they were dealing with you. I guess they didn't see what you were bringing to the table as far as value. But that's a whole nother person. There's other people who have no damn concern in your relationship. So I would not even, what a rat and what a roach for listening to these people. Ooh, what a rat. But yeah, they were definitely listening to other people and all that stuff like that. And it kind of blinded them. I mean, all this stuff. Like, I don't. Why were they insecure to begin with Cancer? Give me a good answer too. Five of Pentacles. They're always worried. They have a lack. They're insecure. They've lost people before. They've lost money behind people before. They've went through a lot with other people, and I feel like it dragged onto you. You were the product of the environment of somebody else, and they possibly could have health problems too as well, like some weight issues too as well, or just financial issues. Maybe you're not aware of, or you are aware of. Yep. How do you feel about you currently? thought so. Yeah. Yeah. They don't see themselves as being very, very, like, they don't feel like you will forgive them. They showed a lot of crazy. They showed a lot of irresponsibility. They've shown their selfish behavior. They've shown a lot of these things. And yeah, they really got to sit back on their ass and listen to themselves about this whole thing, because they kind of, not kind of, they did. They did wrong. They did fucking completely wrong. They made this whole thing very, very divided between the both of you guys, and they're definitely having difficulty, like, um, right now. Restlessness behavior, just really, 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 really just, yeah, it's like I lost the best thing almost in a way. And I mean, they're an idiot. They're idiot. They're dumb. They're dumb for what they did. I mean, this is stupid. Why would you have the risk if you feel like this is somebody that you want, that you would need? But maybe when they're with you, they just lost sight of that. Tell me more about this, and then we'll see how they feel about you emotionally. Yeah. All about they didn't put the work in. They didn't put the work in, man. They know they could have treated you a lot better. They didn't. They were a fool. And they beat themselves up. They're beating themselves up about it. How do they feel about you emotionally? Let's see. I can't do this. I lost myself for a little while. This is a cry for help. This is a cry, you know, they messed up. Like I said, I don't know if you want to forgive them or not. I don't know. I feel like to me, you're just kind of being, they miss your feminine energy. They miss when you were, they could call you theirs, you're their world and all this stuff. Look at that. They live in regret. Some of them, they're thinking about the legal issues. Look, heartbreak. I don't know how deep you guys were, but it seems like you guys are really, really, really deep. And it really hurts them. They want to offer. They want to give you an offer, man. They were a roach. They were a rat. I'm not lying to you. I mean, we all know that. And they trusted the wrong people. They felt like shifting the blame on you would make you bow down and submit to them in a way. But I guess you had enough self-respect, and your self-respect is what now it's caused their judgment. Let's get to how you feel about them. How do you feel about them, Cancer? Death card. Renewal, personal renewal within yourself. Shedding your old skin, shedding your old shell, getting into a new one. It's been a priority for you. I don't think you trust this person or respect them at this point for what they've done. You feel like they weren't committal, very shallow. They did a lot of things that were very undesirable to you. Let me show you the cards here, okay? A lot of things that are very undesirable. Some of them, like I said, weren't very committal. They weren't very committal. The sun. You may be enjoying your summer. Your summers could be doing very well. You could be doing very well for yourself. You could be enjoying yourself. Optimistic about things here. You feel like this person kept a lot of secrets. They were abusive. They promised you things they didn't fulfill. And all of this felt like it was hookup energy. I'm getting here. Tired of being falsely accused. Tired of being blamed for their behavior and you having to defend your position in a relationship. I feel like you felt like this was a threat. It was threatening. You know, this person was a threat. And in order for you not to hurt no more, you had to cancel their contract. Now let's get to like what's their future actions towards you. What are their plans? What do they plan on doing? What do they plan on doing next towards Cancer? What do they plan on doing next? They feel like the more you ignore them, I just feel like the more withdrawn they're going to get. They're going to lose hope. But if you do speak to them, I see them wanting to begin a new cycle with you. But, I mean, you've already been down this road before. I don't know if this is something you want to do again. It's going to be your decision. But we can see what the blocks are in this situation. What are the blocks in this relationship that Cancer is currently dealing with? What are the blocks in this relationship that Cancer is currently dealing with? What's the blocks? Staying stuck. Somebody feels like they were staying stuck, repeating old cycles. Somebody was tired of dealing with the same old. All right. We got Lone Wolf. Someone was acting too single. Well, it's not like they wanted to be in a relationship. Somebody wanted to be a loner. Fear of cheating. Somebody was accusing, like I said, your person could have been accusing you of cheating. They could have been afraid. Like I said, their last relationship before you dug a deep hole in their ass. Rejection. Same thing as insecurity. So, vulnerable. Wasn't willing to open up. Were you willing to open up? Were they not willing to open up? I don't know. Someone wasn't willing to do that. Okay. And that goes along with staying stuck. What's holding back your single life, Cancer? What's blocking your single life? What behaviors are blocking your single life? Fated to be alone. Some of you guys feel like you're going to just be alone for the rest of your life. It's not right. Some of you guys are so used to being the victim that you want to stay there. Not good. Judgment. Too judgmental. Too judgmental. Hiding feelings. Some of you guys hide your feelings out of protection. You don't want to share too much. You don't want to give too much. And there we go. Last thing but not least is rushing. So maybe, people are rushing with you, you're rushing with them. But these are just a few things that could possibly be holding you back in love. And so we want to take a look at these things and see if any of these things match up and see if we need to change anything here. Are we too much of this, too much of that? Can we hold back on this or that? All right. The moral is nobody's perfect. Okay. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Let's go ahead and move on to whatever's coming out. Thank you so much, Kay, for the $4.99. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so what's coming up for Cancer? The Fool. Being adventurous, getting out there, doing more, letting go of the restrictions on your life, letting go of somebody who you feel is restricting your life. really not knowing where you're going, but I see you going. I see you taking some chances here. Some of you guys need to save your money. Don't take any major risk when it comes to your money on any projects. I see some dishonest people around money, so let's make sure we don't do that. We have somebody here who misses you from the past, we just talked about here. And yeah, really feeling down in the dumps about you. Let's see. Make sure you're high energy in your work. Make sure if you've been slacking or at your job or workplace, we start making better decisions. I feel like your job, especially if you've been lazy, they want you to keep the energy high. Try to work on higher energy when it comes to workplace, okay? Because they may feel a certain thing about you, like a conflict and a conflict of interest. Because if you're not, you know, willing to make those adjustments for the job, and they reserve the right to no longer need your services. So let's make sure that we get that together. I see you blocking somebody that you're at a crossroad with. You want change in your life, so you're going to be blocking off an individual. I don't know who this is. It could be a workplace. It could be a habit. I just feel like you are going through changes, and you're going to experience these changes. So, um, yeah, there we go. Anyway, if you like this reading, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'd love to have each and every one of you guys back. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you. Also, be on the lookout for my $15 questions I'll be doing probably next hour or so, okay? So be on the lookout for that, all right? Thank you guys so much. Appreciate the support. Bye.